So what do you say to the critics who say, oh, it's not a big issue. It's being, enhanced by conservatives and people in media who want to make this a talking point, and we're really only talking about a couple of hundred athletes here, and people should just stop making this bigger than it is. What is your response to those critics?
I want those critics to look at myself and other female athletes who have dedicated their entire lives to perfecting their craft, because that's what it is. And say that and mean it, because yes, it's not happening. There's not necessarily stories of domination. I mean, there are, but that's a lot of the argument. But this happening to one athlete is one athlete too many. And this is something that will increase. It's underreported. There's lots of instances that aren't even being talked about. And so it's not transphobic. If this was just simply a biological male, or I guess someone who's not transitioning, I wouldn't be okay with it. So if it was, no matter what this is, when you're putting yourself in a situation where you're have unfair advantages that you can never overcome, no matter what you do, no matter how much training you put in, it's wrong, it's unfair, and it doesn't make me transphobic for believing so.
Talk to me about the athletic governing bodies. If you had a message that you could send to them directly, what would that be?
Well, I think the piece I want to hit on is the lack of accountability. Like I mentioned earlier, there is no one willing to face this issue head on, directly, and say exactly how they feel. It's been a lot of beating around the bush. It's been turning to other organizations. And since, doing this, especially the NCAA, they nominated, UPenn nominated Thomas for NCAA Woman of the Year, which was then approved by the NCAA, which is the highest honor in all of college sports. And to nominate someone who has spent 5% of their life as a female is wrong. We're encouraging that. We're celebrating that. The NCAA is praising this. And it's absolutely wrong and sending the wrong message to young girls, to past female athletes who had to fight for Title IX, and to present female athletes.
What has been the media reaction? You said you have gotten a lot of support, and I've seen some of that unfold. Even when I announced that I was going to be talking to you today, there were a lot of people who were really excited and very supportive of what you've been saying. What has the negative reaction? Have you heard from woke media? Have you gotten messages? What does that look like? Because we have to be realistic. Somebody who does come out and speak out like you is going to face the rash of people who just don't like dissent. In any respect. What has that looked like for you? And has that in any way ever made you regret your decision to speak out?
No, I definitely don't regret my decision. But actually, one of the comments I've gotten a lot is, you only do right-wing media. You'll only go on Fox News, blah, blah, blah. I have actually reached out to different left-winged media to just increase the audience who hears my message, and I have been shot down by every single one of them. They are not willing to have this conversation with me. And so I think a lot of my support has been because I'm preaching to people who already agree with me. But when trying to speak with people who don't, it doesn't get me very far because people aren't willing to listen. I actually went on Dr. Phil I don't think it's aired yet, but I did it last week to try and increase that audience, because I think it's important. I think more people who are kind of on the fence on the political spectrum, which I hate that this is even political, they need to hear this. They need to hear the facts behind this, because I wholeheartedly believe that it will be Republicans who fix this issue.
Yeah, and unfortunately, everything's political these days. Even stuff you don't want to be political, it just balloons, and that's not surprising to me at all. People in the audience, it's not surprising to me that left-wing media doesn't want to talk to you, and there's a reason why, which is that you're very well spoken. First of all, you have facts on your side, reality. We don't live in the land of fiction, some of us. You're very well spoken, and you're somebody who has done the work and has trained. And the last thing they want to do is face somebody like you. They're not prepared for that debate, and they don't want to lose in front of their audience. So they're just simply not going to have the conversation with you. That's why that's happening. It's sad, but it is a reality. I look forward to that Dr. Phil interview. I think he at least attempts to put people of different opinions on and have that conversation, which is very important. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.